everyone, and welcome to Tiger on the Block, the only podcast that takes collegiate a cappella members and makes them really uncomfortable for 30 minutes. I'm Tony like the tiger, Voss like the water.
And I'm Jessica Block, an enthusiasm enthusiast.
Wow.
Wow!
Wow!
Wow, I can feel the enthusiasm!
Thanks. I've been practicing.
Wow, neat!
I guess.
Yeah!
Yeah?
Yeah!
Anyway, do you know who we have in the studio?
Yeah!
Cool, can you tell us?
Yeah! Oh, like right now?
Yeah! Or, like whenever you're ready.
Alright, we have Vocollision from NYU.
I just wanna play this game. 사랑이란 감정에 매료되는 가득 찼네. Yeah, 누가 시킨 적도 없는데 답을 쌓아올렸네. 너의 조각들.
Established in 2013, Vocollision, or Voco if you're cool, is the premier Asian interest a cappella group at NYU. They use their vocal talents to inspire love for Asian music and culture while providing joy and entertainment.
Voco has performed their unique blend of American pop, K-pop, Bollywood, and more at the ICCA's Intercollegiate a cappella festivals and the surrounding New York area.
We got two members in the studio today. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, who you are and where you're from.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Wong and I am a junior at NYU studying vocal performance at Steinhardt, and I am from Hong Kong, but I am currently in the city, New York City.
Hi everyone, my name is Alan. I'm a senior at NYU studying finance, and I am from Plano, Texas.
Awesome. So we're going to ask you guys the first question we ask any group that comes on this podcast, because it's always new and different for every single person. How did you get into music and a cappella? So just, first of all, your whole music experience in general from the time you started to now, but also how'd you get into a cappella once you started at NYU?
So I started doing music-related things since I was 4. I started doing like piano first, and then I joined like a choir back home. And then eventually I started to pick up more instruments like flute and like a Chinese instrument called wuzheng. And then I've been like very active in school choirs since elementary school, and then middle school, high school. And then I always wanted to join an a cappella group, but then like a cappella is not a common thing here, like back in Hong Kong. So when I got to NYU, and then in freshman year, there's this a cappella showcase that they did as like a welcome week. And then I got to listen to so many amazing a cappella groups at NYU. And then I was like, I have to audition for those. I love those. And then eventually I took the opportunity and signed up for auditions for almost like all 10 groups at NYU, I think. And that's how I got into Vocollision.
That's so cool. So there are a lot of groups there then.
There are a lot.
I think there's like 10, I think,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. But I'm sure there are more like, I don't want to say in the works, but I think there's like smaller groups that have gotten together. Maybe they're not like an official a cappella group or something, but they do like music-related things. So definitely a big scene at NYU, a lot of people.
How about you? How did you get into music and a cappella?
Yeah, so for me, the middle school that I went to in 6th grade, you had to do either band, orchestra, or choir. And so I signed up for orchestra, but I didn't know that you had to buy your own violin in order to be there. I thought they would provide you one. And so the first day I switched over to choir because I didn't have an instrument. But I'd been playing piano since like, I think when I was like 5 or 6, just because it was like the thing to do. It's the thing to do according to my parents. So I had some like music theory background and everything. And so I really enjoyed choir. And so I went through it all throughout middle school, all throughout high school. And so I actually study finance. I'm a business major at NYU, and business majors tend to get a pretty bad rep just because they're business majors. And I tend to be like the workaholic type of person. So I knew I wanted to do something like outside of business, outside of school related, to like, take me away from that world at least 1 or 2 days a week. And for me, that was singing. And I also went to the acapella showcase that was during orientation week and everything, and I saw the groups perform and I instantly fell in love. And so I auditioned for a lot of the groups, and Voco was really the one that stood out for me, at least because now that we've put a bigger emphasis on ICCA and everything, I think it's awesome. But I think for me, at least when I was looking at the different acapella groups, Voco really seemed like a tight-knit group where it really looked like everyone was really close friends with each other outside of just the acapella situation. And so that really stood out for me. I met a lot of people that I really enjoyed talking to during Club Fest and everything. And so that's how I got involved in everything.
It's great that you guys have that like festival where it's like, here's this group and this group, and like I feel like that's something that just gets people excited, really makes people feel like they're in the Pitch Perfect movies a little bit.
For sure.
I think I've said this in a previous episode, but piano is such a good instrument to learn at the beginning for anybody who does music, especially people who are in the tenor to baritone-ish range, because you're going to get sheet music with bass clef. You're going to get music with treble clef. The tenor clef does exist. Do we ever see it? Does not matter. No. But it's such a good way to introduce music to somebody, although I do believe it is one of the more complex instruments to kind of like get the gist of if it's your first, because you're dealing with multiple notes at the same time, two hands doing different things, reading two lines instead of one. But it's as someone with a voice of this tone and timbre and pitch, it helps a lot when you're receiving various sheet music of different varieties.
It's also good for visualizing notes and things too. Like no matter what instrument you play, it's like you're able to kind of see it on the piano, which is kind of nice.
Well, it looks like both of you came a little bit, not necessarily out the womb, kicking and screaming in middle C, but definitely had some background into that. I know Alan was talking about this a little earlier, but we would like to do a little bit more of a deep dive on what the a cappella scene is like there at NYU. Like, what things do they do? Again, we kind of touched a little bit about the plethora of groups that are kind of there and then are growing. So if you guys could just talk a little bit more about what the a cappella scene is like at your school in the New York area.
Sure. I think coming into NYU, I think a big part of the interest in a cappella was that showcase that they did in the very beginning. So for orientation, they sat everyone down in Barclays Stadium, I think in Brooklyn, and they had this like amazing musical performance of a lot of comprised of people from all of the different a cappella groups. And it was just this like huge introductory thing that basically got everyone thinking like, holy crap, this is Pitch Perfect. And so after that, they advertised like, there's going to be like an actual a cappella like showcase where all the groups arranged, I think, was it like 2 or 3 songs, and they would perform it for everyone. And so a lot of the people that were originally already interested went to that. And I think that really piqued their interest even more. I would say the scene overall is pretty immersive. There's a lot of groups and you have a lot of opportunities to like participate. There's concerts fairly often because there's so many groups, and there's a lot of facilities that are available for use for these concerts and stuff. So usually when concert seasons come around, you're seeing like 5 or 6 of them a week or something. And it's just really easy to like hop in because everything is pretty close together. At least in freshman and sophomore years, the dorms are pretty close to the school buildings where all the events are held. So yeah, I think because of the plethora of events, the plethora of opportunities, and just the interest for music in the overall community of NYU is one of the reasons why the a cappella scene is pretty big.
And adding on to what Ellen just said, like apart from having like our own concerts for each of the a cappella groups, sometimes we also do like a cappella like crossovers. So like we do like concerts with other groups, and then there is one that's called aca brawl. That's when like we have like 4 or 5 of the groups at NYU, and we did like a whole concert. So that's really fun, and like we get to meet more people who's very like who loves singing and doing music and doing a cappella, and that's really nice.
That's so cool. I feel like those events with a bunch of a cappella groups are always the best because it's like there's so much hype for this thing that's like, I don't want to say like niche, because a cappella after Pitch Perfect is not that unwell known, but like it's so cool to have so much hype for like a bunch of people singing. It's one of the best things. I just want to ask you guys, because there are so many groups at NYU and you guys are the only Asian interest group, what does that mean for your group with regard to how you operate? Like, do you guys do some special things just because, like, that's the nature of your group? Or is it more just kind of like something that you guys identify as just like in the music you choose? Or, you know, like, what does that mean for your group?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of the music we choose and sort of like the events we participate in. It's not to say that everyone in the group is Asian. I know that, like, looking at it right now, our representation is pretty skewed towards the Asian side, but traditionally and currently, like, not everyone in the group is Asian. But what it does mean for the group is that there are a lot of Asian interest organizations at NYU because a large portion of the student body is either Asian or like international students. And that comes from a lot from the Asian area as well. And so there are events like Lunar New Year or other like Asian festivals where these organizations will ask us to perform maybe some of our songs in like a K-pop song, or like we've done a couple, I think, Japanese songs and a few Chinese songs as well. So it just means we're putting a bit more emphasis on songs in other languages, especially Asian languages, where other groups may not. We did a K-pop song from a group called Mamamoo for our ICCA competition. And, that's not something I think most groups would do. But it's just like the events we participate in, the groups that we work with, it ends up working out that way.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know we've had a couple other like cultural or denominational groups on here, and one of the things that's kind of been a common thread among them is not only are you connected to the a cappella community, but you're connected to like a greater community as well. And so that tie not only gives you a couple more like performance opportunities that maybe an a cappella group that isn't tied to another community wouldn't have, but it also, like, I don't know, it just ties you to something a little bit bigger than just like a singing group. And that's really cool. So that's awesome. It's cool that you guys have that. It's cool that you guys like cherish it and build it. And I don't know, it's just an awesome community that people can join if they're going to NYU.
While we're kind of on the subject of the repertoire that your group kind of focuses on, then I was wondering if we could touch a little bit on how you guys generally go about picking the songs that you guys end up doing throughout it and teaching songs that are maybe not in a language that all members are fluent in, if not like understanding. How do you go about, one, choosing those songs and then teaching those songs in a way that like aids everybody in the group?
So I guess like in the beginning of each semester, we usually do like a song suggestion period. Where we have our members submit like any song suggestions they want. And then, for the last year, I think we kind of have everyone record themselves singing that song and put that up on Google Drive for other people to listen to it and see if they like the song and if they like that person being on the solo for that song. And then we will vote for it. And then eventually the one with the highest vote will be made into an arrangement by our music director. And then if that song happens to be a song that's not in English, then usually we'll have the person who knows that language to sing the solo. And then for like the other voice parts, we'll either have them sung on do's or da's, or like if there's like English words in the piece, then we'll usually have them sing those English words as well. And if we really happen to have like them to sing, say, I think we did a lot of Korean songs. So like sometimes other voice parts also have to sing in like a few words in Korean. We'll have like the Korean members to teach them. And we'll also have them to listen to the original song like a few times. And like there's sometimes a lot of like romanized lyrics on the web, so we can just look them up and then learn those ourselves.
That's awesome. So I guess if anyone's out there and they're like, I really want my a cappella group to do a K-pop song, but I don't know how to teach everyone Korean. You don't have to teach everyone Korean. You can do a couple other things that Jennifer just mentioned, and you can make it happen. So shout out to you guys. Yeah, it's a cool process.
The magic of a cappella, doing do's, ahs, oohs, e's.
All of the above.
I don't think people do e's, but
I feel like I've heard it.
Yeah.
We had a couple e's at some point.
We've had a couple E's.
Yeah.
I do remember a couple E's.
Yeah.
We did too, yeah, if I remember correctly. The
Oh, yeah. I feel like people always choose those for the syncopated
eh.
ones, like Yeah.
Acapella's got its own language, if you really think about it.
Oh yeah.
How much emphasis
The
do you guys?
language of acapella.
Yeah. How much emphasis do you guys put upon knowing the meaning behind the words? For those members who maybe aren't necessarily singing singing in that language, how much emphasis is put into understanding what the material of the song is about and understanding its vibe so that you were able to bring that out in performance?
I know for the Mamamoo song that we did for ICCA, we all searched up the lyrics online with like on the K-pop sites with like the lyrics and the translations and stuff.
The one where they got the little color coded.
Yeah, for like
jazz.
who's singing what. Yeah. So yeah, I think we, for most of our songs that we do in other languages, definitely like I think once everyone gets into it and like starts getting the notes and stuff, then you look at the lyrics, you see what they mean. When you're in that phase of learning music, when you're adding emphasis and dynamics and all that stuff, that's when you really start getting into like what the words actually mean. What am I actually singing about? But yeah, I don't think it's too hard of a hurdle to cross by. I think most songs that are popular enough will have like translations and stuff on the side where you don't necessarily need like a Korean person in the group in order to understand it. Like I'm sure there's resources on the internet for that.
All right. So it's cool. You can just kind of look it up and figure it out and try to channel that emotionally when you're performing. That's cool. I remember doing that a lot in high school with like classical Italian pieces and being like, what am I saying to Figaro? And then you figure it out.
Yeah. The closest I remember is just like I did a little bit of choir in my high school days.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like we would I was in a men's ensemble, and we would like sometimes we would be doing like classical pieces and just things that are like in Latin and what have you, and we'd sing it and we'd like, okay, we got it, and then the music director would be like, okay, so what are you saying here? And you would hear all the pages flip to the back where like there's like the explanation.
For me, because like I'm a vocal major, so I do a lot of, and also like I'm on a classical track, so I do a lot of like pieces in different languages. So apart from like learning the translation of the poem and stuff, we also like kind of like think about a personal circumstance and put that like the song into it, and then think about it like personally, like think. So sometimes when we don't, well, say going back to like the acapella singing other songs, then sometimes we'll just like make up our own circumstance for it, even though like we don't like, it doesn't have to be correct, but as long as like all of us kind of like knows, kind of feels that emotion and that circumstance that we made up, then that's how we like kind of like sing the song.
For sure. And that makes a lot of sense, like to tie it to your own life, to think about something that will make you feel the emotion of like the person who is singing it. Like it doesn't have to be the exact same event. And that's awesome.
In the theatrical world, it is a practice known as, I believe, sense memory, where it's like,
it sounds like a psychology term.
Big words.
Big words. This is what you learn in college, kid.
Wow.
But yeah, I believe it is called sense memory, where you're taking a memory that is adjacent to the feelings that you're supposed to be feeling in a moment. They could be the exact same scenario. In some cases, it can be, did this and it was kind of that, but I understand, like, it's like a practice in empathy or sympathy, where you're drawing on a past emotional experience to produce a similar emotional response. It's very cool stuff, and I can go on about it forever. But to stop me, Jessica.
TLDR, there's a lot more to performing than you thought, potentially, unless you already knew this, in which case there is exactly as much to performing as you thought. But that brings us to our next question, which is, we know you guys perform a lot. We know you guys do all sorts of fun events and things, but what do you guys do to relax? What do you do to get to know each other? Do you have any socials or bonding or cool stuff in New York? Obviously not right now during the pandemic, but in normal times. Like, what do you guys do to bond with each other as an a cappella group?
Well, we do like welcoming parties for like the new freshmen or like new members of our group in the beginning of the semester. And apart from, during those parties, we kind of like get to know each other better. and like have like the newcomers like kind of loosen up a little bit and like kind of like build that bond that we have. And eventually, like in the middle of the semester, we sometimes do have like a retreat where we go to like, well, we book an Airbnb somewhere and then we just like go there for the weekend and just like play games and do bonding stuff. And it's really fun.
That's so cool. Do you guys go to like upstate New York or just somewhere else in the city?
Well, sometimes, yeah, sometimes, I mean, we go like everywhere. Like I've only gone to one retreat, and that one time we went to someone's home in Long Island.
Ooh, nice.
And then we stayed at his place for the weekend.
That's so cool. Yeah, I feel like retreats vary. I know that we've gone everywhere to like in the mountains to the middle of the desert. So,
Oh wow.
California is crazy. But yeah.
But yeah, I think also outside of actual like parties and meetups, I think the cool part about NYU is just that even though like, you know, the slogan is like the school is the city, everything is in a pretty consolidated area, so you end up running into people at like cafeterias and stuff like on a daily. And so back when I was still on campus, living in dorms and went to the cafeteria to eat all the time, like we would pretty much we pretty much meet up before rehearsals every day and just get food, because our rehearsals ended up being at like 8 p.m. And so that 6:30 to 8 o'clock time was just 90 minutes of us just chilling and hanging out and just talking about life in the cafeteria. And so, and also outside of that, there were times when people would be like, yo, is anyone on campus right now free to like chill in the library, get some work done together? And I think like aside from, I think it's important to have those big events, but also like one of the reasons why I think the group is so close even outside of aca-pella and outside of music is because of these like little sporadic spontaneous hangouts. And so I think that's pretty cool.
Right. Like part of aca-pella is having that group of people where you can just send a text to like a group of, I don't know, 18 people and be like, hey, is anyone free to do anything? And then you just feel good if anyone is, because like it's like a family. It's awesome. That's one of the best parts too of aca-pella, I felt, is like, hey, I'm going to eat right now. Is anyone ready? And then you get 5 people being like, yes, we all want to go. And then suddenly you have a party and it's crazy. Our next question for you guys, I know that that's sort of what you do in a normal year with regard to like hanging out and performing and everything. This coming year is going to be different for every aca-pella group, including you guys. So I guess our question for you, since the school year has started, is what are your plans? What are you going to do socially or performingly? That's not a word, but there we go. And also, are you going to record any sort of album? Like, what do you have on the docket for 2020, 2021 school year?
So I guess since like not everyone is in a city and everything becomes like on Zoom and virtually, so instead of having like performance and like group like rehearsals, we focus a lot more on like producing and making our album. So we recorded one song and in the beginning of September, and that was the song that you guys played in the beginning of the podcast, and that's Jenga. And we are going to record more songs and put it on the album. And I guess we'll focus more on that, because since we can't do a lot of other things like meeting up in groups and stuff. So we do those, and also like do a lot of like virtual like video recordings and stuff, and like make like music videos alongside with like the album that we're going to make.
That's awesome. That's a lot of stuff. I'm excited.
I think a lot of the NYU concerts, I know we're doing one, I think next Friday, or I don't think it's a concert, but it's like an event organized by an organization, and they're inviting us to do like a quick song or two. But a lot of them are remote in the sense that like we would record a video together as a group, and if people wanted to do like their own solos and stuff, they would do like their own recordings. And so a big part of it is like getting the audio together, mixing it, and the other half of it is like putting it together in a video format. We plan on doing some more like music video projects. We did one where it was like your classic acapella Zoom, where like it's not the actual Zoom call obviously, but like you have the Zoom bar and like the people are like coming in and out depending on what part they are. I know, so I edited that one because I've been working with like Adobe After Effects for about 5 or 6 years, and so I have some experience doing that. And I know that our music director and at least one other person in the group also does music video experience. So when I was busy the last month with an internship and everything, our music director was taking care of starting up the second music video, which is going to be for Jenga, the song that you guys played in the beginning, and the one that we're also working on right now.
Oh, nice.
So there will be a music video for that. I think we plan on uploading it to YouTube, Instagram. We have all of those social media platforms as well. And I know we're definitely trying to promote that this year, mainly due to the nature of the online concerts and everything. So like everything we perform at our concerts and stuff, we will have like as a file format. And so we plan on uploading those to whatever formats we can. So I know we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, I think we also do. So yeah, I think it just becomes more accessible because we don't have to like record it on top of learning it for the concert. So it just ends up working pretty well for us to grow those platforms.
Right. And it's cool that you guys have people in your group that know both video and audio editing, at least to the extent that you can create this content. I feel like for a lot of groups, this year is going to be a year of figuring that stuff out, especially with the format of the ICCAs this year, which I don't know if we've mentioned it yet on the podcast, but instead of a 12-minute live performance is now a 4-minute video. So, you know, a cappella groups all around the country and the world are trying to figure out how to do audio and video editing. So it's nice that you guys kind of have at least some sort of handle on that going into this year. I know that our group's kind of trying to figure out who knows how to do what and who's going to be doing what. Not just for ICCAs, but as you said, for like all the other videos and audio things that we're going to have to be making this year instead of doing our live stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, it's such an interesting field. Like, it's such a valuable skill to learn here in the post 2020 world. Video and audio editing, it's something that maybe we in the past have been something that would be, oh, we'll outsource it when we need it for an a cappella group. But now it's becoming the a cappella world, like many things, have been kind of shaken up due to Miss Rona coming into town and refusing to leave. It's like so much of what we like initially, the concept of a cappella has now, we've had to view it from a different lens and answer these big what if questions that maybe have just been insane hypotheticals up until this point. But I honestly think that like people learning about using After Effects, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, and then digital audio workstations like Pro Tools, GarageBand, even, you know, whatever people have access to, and finding a way in order to create content for others to like enjoy. It's such it's going to be a long learning process, but I think in the end is going to be great for the a cappella community and for like what we do going past a quarantine world, because now everybody will have some understanding of what to do with these kind of like fields, and I feel like that's going to lend itself to creating a lot of new interesting content.
Some cool music videos post 2020.
Sick music videos coming your way post 2020. But while we're on the subject of 2020, I'd like to talk about your guys' ICCA 2020 experience. Your guys' set was a very cool one, had a very interesting storyline to it. So I wondered if you guys could talk about the road leading to ICCA 2020 and what your whole spiel was with your story and with your set.
So we started planning about it like in the beginning of the year, like of the school year. That was like fall 2019. So like people were throwing in different ideas because we were thinking of doing something that's special and different than the usual ICCA common sets. So we think of doing a kind of like a game show. So we were thinking about doing that, and then that's how like, everyone's like, okay, cool, that's gonna be fun because like that's very different and that's like more interactive among the audience. So we kind of went with that, and then we started picking out songs by having people singing whatever songs that they want to as a solo, and then like have them like put up on a drive for everyone to pick and vote for. And then eventually I think we got 3 or 4 songs, if I remember correctly. 3. Yeah. So 3 songs. At least 3. Yes. And yeah, we started having people learn their music. We had our arrangements like December-ish, December, I think. And then we have like everyone. We have some people that were in the city for winter break, record like practice tracks for people, and then have people starting to learn their music during winter break. And when we're back in January, we started like practicing together. I think we learned our songs like really quickly because like we were like learning one song per week or something because we need to have everyone like learn their own music in their own time, so we have more time to do our choreo because we kind of have like a very like complex, not the usual simple like step choreo. So like we saved more time for the choreo, and then we started doing that like 2 or 3 weeks before the actual ICCAs. And then it was very intense because like we were rehearsing like almost like 2 or 3 days per week and like 2 to 3 hours per session. It was super intense, but it was fun at the same time because it was like doing something that we all like, and also because school is stressful, and so like finding time to like sing and just like dance with like the people you're close with together is like a great way to like de-stress and just like have fun in general. So it was honestly like a journey, and then like Rona starting to happen, but then we still went to ICCA, so that's great. And then I remember us just like being super nervous during mic check and stuff because like we didn't know like how it's gonna turn out because we're doing something very different from what it's used to be, and also doing like an interactive set. We're nervous of how like the audience or like the judges will respond to it, but eventually I think it went well because like we got like everyone like were very surprised at what we did, and also they really liked it from the reactions that we got. So it was a really, really fun experience. Kind of bummed out that we can't do it again like in person for 2021 ICCAs, but that was honestly like one of the best moments in my a cappella life at NYU.
Yeah, there's not quite anything like the moment like right when you finish your performance on stage and you're just like, we did that. Yes.
Yeah, that whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had someone else come on who was on this podcast earlier say that after their set, they just went up back to their room. I think they had like a changing room that they were assigned or something. And they just like laid on the floor and stared at the ceiling and we're just like smiling.
That's
and I was
valid.
like, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's such an insane turnaround for like the music and then getting into the choreo.
That's so fast.
I was going to ask if you guys could touch a little bit more about what that interactive portion of your set entailed.
Okay, so basically we did like a spin-off of like The Bachelor, and we call it The Love Connection. And so we basically had 3 bachelorette and they are the solos for the 3 songs. And then we have the audience to kind of vote for which one they want by clapping, like applauding at the end of towards the end of our set. And then that's like the interactive nature that we kind of add to our set.
That's so cool. So it wasn't even like, I've seen sets before where people say stuff and then start singing to establish like a theme, but you guys like actually interacted with the audience during a set, which I don't think I've ever seen before, like in any ICCA set.
Fourth wall gone.
Yeah, I feel like NYU groups just break the barriers of like what ICCA is. Like other groups are like, oh, we're gonna go like sing and then we're gonna get off stage, and NYU groups are like, we're going to say a thing, we're gonna sing this thing that leads into this thing, we're gonna lift people above our heads, we're gonna do a bachelor thing, we're gonna like interact with the audience. You guys are just so creative, and I guess that's kind of the nature of your school, but also just you guys are awesome. So it's incredible. Like, who would have thought of that other than you guys? It's so cool. I don't know, my mind is blown a little bit. When I first watched you guys' video, I was like, wait, are they doing The Bachelor? Like, is this happening? It's so awesome. Also, it worked with your guys' venue, because instead of like a giant auditorium, you guys, it almost looked like a big room, like a flat room. I wasn't entirely sure what kind of room it was, because it looked a little different from like some of the other venues we've seen, but I think that really lent itself to your guys' performance, because you were kind of on the same level as the audience, which made it easier to say things to them and have them say stuff back. I don't know. I'm just kind of like talking about it a lot because it's so cool, but you guys, if you're listening, we'll get to hear a little part of it in a second.
Yeah,
so
I'll say like, because
you'll know what I'm talking about.
it was a big time commitment, and last year was when I was doing like recruiting and stuff. So I actually didn't participate in the ICCA like process, but I was there in the audience when they actually performed. It was a really awesome experience, because even for people who love a cappella, when you're sitting there and listening, there are times when you're like, I want to do something, like I want to be a part of this performance. Like you watch Pitch Perfect, everyone wishes they could like be on that stage or like like interact with them somehow, and I think the group did it really well. I'm pretty sure if there was like an audience clap volume award, we definitely would have took it, because just the fact that the audience got to progress the story, because in the end, if you go to the very end of the performance, you'll see like the winner dances with the with the bachelorette, and I think it was really cool that the audience got to contribute to the ending of the performance. And so, like, speaking on behalf of an audience member, I purposely, like, when they were doing the choreo during rehearsals and stuff, I would like step out because I didn't want to get spoiled by like what I was going to see, and I was so hyped for it, even though I knew like sort of what was going to happen.
That's so cool. Would you guys ever consider doing like a choose your own adventure ICCA set? I know there would be a lot of work going into that, but it just like sparked something in my head where I was like, what if someone did like, you know, what's that thing called? Black Mirror?
Oh god. Oh geez, hold on.
Is that what it's called?
There's a Black Mirror, but Bandersnatch.
Yeah, like Bandersnatch, but ICCA set style. Or like that Kimmy Schmidt thing that came out, like Kimmy Schmidt versus the Reverend or something. I don't know, but like a choose your own, and then like, depending on what the audience does, you like actually sing different stuff. That would take so much preparation, but it'd be so cool.
I think the thing, it would just be like, you would have to learn every single path, but you only use one of them.
It would be way more preparation than you actually need. I don't think college kids have time to do that, but...
I think it's possible that like you could change the soloist, or in the same way where like you can like have it somewhere where like, oh, they choose somebody to follow or something. I don't know. This has turned into a hypothetical ICCA workshop.
So if you're listening and you have a lot of time on your hands,
boy, do we have the project for you.
Well, Tony, I think this brings us to our next section, speaking of the ICCA 2020 experience.
I think it does, and it's definitely not because we wrote it to work like this.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right.
That was like the weakest air horn I think I've ever done.
Oh, I thought you were doing like tiny laser guns. I don't know.
I don't even know what I was doing, but it happened.
You know what? I liked it.
Thanks.
And it is the perfect sound effect to lead us to this next bit. Maybe.
Yes. Maybe.
Anyway. Everybody, welcome to Music Notes. This is the part of our show where we take a look back at a past performance of the group and talk a little bit about the preparation that went into it, how it felt to perform live, and what it feels like to look back at it now. In this episode, we're going to take a look at Vocollision's cover of Crazy in Love by Beyonce, featuring soloists Kai and Krista. Let's check it out.
So crazy, my baby. I'm not myself, baby. I'm foolish. I don't do this. Keep playing myself, baby. I don't care. 'Cause your love got the best of me. Maybe I'm making a fool of me. Got me smoking on every seat. Baby, you got me crazy. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Everybody's looking for that something. Inside, it's so crazy right now.
This has been Love Connection. Vocollision.
Yes, so good. Oh my god.
So good.
All right, just looking back, what's your first response? Visceral reactions. What you got? What you feeling?
Wow, I miss those times. I was having the biggest smile on my face while watching that because like it was so good. I remember like when we got the video, I was like, I kept watching it and I kept playing it to everyone that I know. I was like, look at that. We did that. Like it was amazing. It was so fun. And the fact that like Kai on the solo, she was like belting out like insane. And it was just super, super fun.
Yeah, you guys, the energy that you guys brought to that stage or that performance area, and I feel like you taking down that barrier between the performer and the audience and allowing for them to engage in what you guys are doing shines out both in like the way that you guys like sound and the way, but also like the way that you guys carry yourselves and the way that the vibe just
The energy's infectious.
top tier vibes. Yes, energy is infectious.
Yeah, again, speaking from the audience perspective, it was really cool to see, especially in the last minute, because you can tell even from the video, and this was even more apparent when if you saw it live, but like you could definitely see everyone was having the time of their life because like they were so into it. I think like every group towards the beginning feels a little bit nervous, and I think it is a very nerve-wracking experience. I didn't do it last year, but in my first year, I was part of like our ICCA set in 2017, and like just towards the end when you see everyone just jamming out and Kai and Krista are just screaming their solos blissfully, it was contagious. Everyone in the audience around me, at least I was looking around, had a huge smile on their face because they were having just as much fun as the people singing on stage were. And I think that's the cool part about a cappella and like singing in general is like even when you're not singing, just hearing other people being really into it makes you really into it, and that was really cool to see.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are like, I don't like acapella, but then when they go see like an actual acapella group doing their thing, like full stop, just like the choreo and the costumes and I guess not costumes, but you know what I mean, like outfits and everything's coordinated and the music just like making those power chords and the whole room's vibrating. They're like, oh, I see why you do this now. So it's awesome. And watching that video, especially that last minute, like I actually got chills. Like those chords when they lock in and you guys were just like standing there all in a line. Like those are some of my favorite acapella moments. Yeah, I don't know. It's so cool. And do you guys think like when you're watching that video, I know that like a lot of people when they see their ICCA set, they have like two thoughts. One is like, oh, these are things that I could have done better. And the other thought is, that was fantastic and we did that and it's awesome. And like, I love it when that's the one that wins out because usually it's the right feeling. Like usually watching an ICCA set, it's like, damn, like that was fantastic. So it's so cool that you guys are like able to look back on it and be like, yes, like we did this. This is awesome. Amazing. Because it was and it is. And I don't know what I'm even talking about at this point, but I just love watching your guys' set. It's just so much energy and so fantastic. And it sounds amazing too. So
yeah, and the fact that it's reaching out of that performance space and into a video recording and an audio recording, and the fact that we are here to like sit here now, listen to it, watch it, and still feel that energy says a lot about what you guys put into it. And yeah,
exactly,
it was incredible.
Yeah, it's cool. And also I think that space too is kind of a weird performance space and like would be enough to throw off a group that could have been like expecting a stage or something, but you guys killed it. Like, I don't know, like it almost, I feel like it made, and I said this before, I think it probably made your performance even better because you were so close to the audience. I'll link the video too, like below, so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I say that they were like right next to the audience. Like they were right there. You can see it and it's so cool. I don't know what other adjectives to use. I like enjoyed watching it a lot.
All right, well, we have a game for you all to play, but before we can get into that, we would like to thank our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by Left-Handed Coffee Mugs.
And by Porcupines, answering the age-old question of what would cactuses be like if they could move?
Now, this game that we have created for you guys is called Vocollision Omission. And the way that it works is we're going to give you a song, like happy birthday, and we're going to give you a word, a couple words, or a concept to completely remove from the song. Do those just like keep it silent. So happy birthday, but you can't say birthday. It would be happy to you, happy to you. And the rounds are going to get progressively harder and harder, but we tried this before, me and Jess off camera. It can take a little bit more brain power than you think it is, but it's a lot of fun.
Yes, and we're gonna have a vague point system where, like, if you mess up, you get a point, and you're trying to get the least number of points, like golf. But honestly, we're probably not gonna keep track all that well. This is mainly for fun.
I know in rehearsal we have a voice warm up that's similar to that, where we do like the do re mi fa so, and we omit one of them.
Oh, we do that too.
But you cut out like a do
so
or
bad
a...
at that one. So
it's so tough. We do it with numbers, like one,
Oh,
one,
yeah,
two,
yeah,
one,
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. We'll leave
1,
out
2,
like
3.
three. Oh my
Clap,
gosh,
3, 2,
leaving out
yeah.
3 when we're like 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. It's like, it's so
Yeah,
hard.
the 1, 2, 4, 2, 1.
That gets everyone.
Insane.
Nobody remembers what 4 sounds like by the time we
I
skip
cannot
3.
get it. So I'm a bit worried about this one.
I don't know if I just got it, like I just did it now. I still have no idea if that was the right note. So if you're listening and you're like, Jessica, you did not sing 4. Okay.
I'll pitch shift it or something.
Tony auto-tunes me.
Yeah, we'll make you,
One.
we'll get some good T-Pain hours going on.
Love it. All right, shall we play
Excellent.
the hashtag game?
Whichever one of you wants to go first in Vocollision omission. It doesn't matter how you guys want to pick who goes first. You can draw straws, though I don't think it works that way on Zoom. You could fight it out to the death, which is also not recommended in this current format. Also, but yeah, however you guys want to.
Also doesn't work on Zoom. Yeah.
I mean, hey, ratings, am I right?
But in normal circumstances,
But yeah,
I mean,
however you guys want to figure it out, just voluntarily, voluntold,
Oh, man.
rock, paper, scissors, which has apparently been something we have done a lot on this podcast, despite it being audio only. However you guys want to do it.
Doesn't matter. I can go first, or if you want to go first. Okay, cool.
Wow, a peaceful resolution.
Yeah.
We love it. Cool. All right. We got this. I believe in you. You said the vocal warm-ups catch you off guard. Not a problem. Because we're going to sing the all-time classic, I Want It That Way, but I want you to leave out any reference to the self. So I or my. So I want you to sing Want It That Way.
Okay, so anything except for my and I.
Yeah, so the words I, my,
Okay.
anything belonging to the self.
Oh, and me.
Oh, and me, yeah. I, my, me.
me.
Anything pointing back, like if you were pointing, like you are my fire, as an example,
Okay.
you would cut out the word my.
Got it. Okay. Got this. You are fire, the one desire, believe when say want it that way, but we are 2 worlds apart, can't reach to your heart.
Yes,
Wait, I'm
yours good.
blanking.
That's good.
When say want it that way, tell me. Oh wait, I realized that was the end, but I just said tell me, and I messed that up. But you guys already started
I didn't
clapping,
hear
so
it.
that doesn't count.
Yeah, no, you're saying
You didn't.
you win
okay.
this round.
You did it.
You win this round.
All right.
All right, so
Time for your turn, Jennifer. Are you ready?
Wait, am I doing the same song?
No, I'll give you a different one. Okay, we'll do a different one then. Do you know the song Baby by Justin Bieber?
Yes.
So you gotta sing Baby by Justin Bieber without any baby in it. Starting from the chorus.
Okay. And now it's like, oh, like, but you always be mine, mine.
Woo! That was good.
That's fun.
All right, we made it through round one
That's
with no
fun.
casualties. This is good.
This is good. We're making it through. All right. Your next one is Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid. However, I want no references to water or wetness. That must all be removed.
Oh man. Okay. What counts as a reference to water? Like, does seaweed count?
Seaweed is fine because that's a plant.
Seaweed
But
is
it's
fine,
like
yeah.
lake,
Lake,
Oh.
like ocean,
wetter.
Okay.
wetter, water.
Okay. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the floor. Such wonderful things surround you. What more is you looking for? Under the darling, it's better down where it's. Take it from me. I messed up the word, but
Hey, you
yeah.
did well. I'm gonna.
You were almost there.
I was almost there, yeah.
You were almost
Up
there.
on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While we devote in full time to... I don't know if this word counts, but I'm not going to sing it. Under the...
Good. That was. It didn't count, but good on you for staying safe.
Yeah.
I think half a point. I feel bad if I got that off completely scot-free.
All right. Well,
but,
so you'll take half a point on that one. All right.
yeah.
Still pretty good though. Okay, so your song is Gaston, but you have to leave out the word Gaston.
We kind of went
Okay.
on a Disney tangent. If you couldn't
I was
tell.
going to say,
We
like,
did.
a lot of these are...
Just a little bit.
Train.
Gosh, it disturbs me to see you looking so down in the dumps. Every guy here loves to be you, even when taking your lumps. There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. Everyone's awed and inspired by you. And it's not very hard to see why. No one's slick as, no one's quick as, no one's neck as incredibly thick as. For there's no one in town half as manly, perfect, a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they tell you whose team they prefer to be on.
Woo! You have a really nice voice, both of you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good catch.
Well, there you go. You
Good
did
catch
it.
on the as.
Yeah, that was good. You caught the as. I'm gonna say you made it. That's good. Tony, you wanna?
Cool. Do you mind if I skip
do
to
the
a
next
different?
round?
I want to
Yeah, take
specifically
whichever one
do
you
one.
want.
All right. Excellent. All right.
Boy.
Cool. The next one we have, Alan. It is "Thinking Out Loud" by Ed Sheeran. The
Oh,
first
boy.
verse. But you can't reference body parts. So no legs. No cheeks.
That's like half the words, I think.
It is.
That's the point.
Okay. All right.
All right.
When yours don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your. Will you still remember the taste of my love? Will you still smile from your. That's a body part. Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart. Oh,
Oh! Ah! That's
I got
a
too
hard-
into it. I got too into it. No.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
totally
get to it too.
forgot
I didn't
it.
even realize.
All right.
It's
No,
so
I'm
hard.
gonna make sure I don't get 2 points on this. I'm gonna finish this. Baby,
all right.
my could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch of me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am honey now. Take me into your loving. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your on my beating. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love right where we are. Can't go up the octave because I'm not warmed up and I just woke up. So.
No problem.
But it's funny that you.
That
it's
was
funny
great.
that you brought up this song because this was actually my callback song for my audition
Oh,
for Voco
wow.
in 2017, my freshman year when I joined. So that's that.
It's
kinda
such
cool.
a pretty
Yeah, it was a
song.
throwback. Normally I'd go up the octave there, but you know, not warmed up enough for this.
Is valid.
It sounds good either
Thank
way,
you, thank
man. Ed Sheeran writes some nice stuff, and I always have trouble singing it because it's like right in that range where it's like it's good for a high tenor, but it's kind of bad for like a soprano mezzo type.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you did.
So it's cool that y'all can
You
do
did
it.
say heart though. We
I
did
did
catch
say-
you on
yep.
that one.
You
That-
did. We did get
You know,
one
I'll
point
take
on
that.
there,
Honestly,
but you know
one
what?
point on that song, I'll take it. Could have been a
Yeah.
lot worse.
That one's trippy.
That was like a landmine field right there. That was just crazy. And you got through it with only one of the words in there. So that's pretty good. All right. Jennifer, are you ready? Do you know Juice by Lizzo?
Yes.
Okay, so your job is to sing Juice by Lizzo, but you can't say any word that rhymes with juice.
Is she allowed to say the word juice, or is juice included
No.
as a rhyme for juice?
Juice is included, yeah.
Any word that rhymes with that is either the word juice or rhymes with juice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting. Gotta blame it on my baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making. I'm the pudding in a. Gotta blame it on my. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Blame it on my. Blame it on my. Yeah. Blame it on my. Blame it on my.
That was good. There we go. Also, that sounded amazing. You guys are just great at singing. I don't know why I'm surprised. Like, your group sounds good, so obviously you sound good too. But
Yeah.
like, damn, it's like over Zoom, like, it's hard to sound good and you guys are pulling it off.
It's hard to make Zoom sound good.
Yeah, that's, I guess, kind of, yeah.
Hard agree.
All right, cool. So, Tony,
All
I
right,
believe.
Alan, we're gonna have you sing "You'll Be Back" from the hit Broadway smash. Hit Broadway smash, yes. Hit Broadway smash Hamilton. You're going to be singing the song "You'll Be Back" without "you'll" or "you." Any reference to a "you."
Ooh, okay. All right. This will be interesting. Say, the price of my love's not a price that willing to pay. Cry in your tea which you heard.
Oh no, you said you!
Dude, this
It's
is
so
hard.
hard.
All right. I know. It's so cause I love this song and I like I love Hamilton. Dude, when I get into it,
It's such a good
all right, all right.
song, too.
In your tea which hurl in the sea when see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when went away, now making me mad. Remember despite our estrangement, I'm man. Be back soon, see. Remember you belong to me.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
I say that? I did say it again. Oh,
It's so
this
hard.
is hard. Be back, time will tell. Remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind of my love. Da 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 da.
Oh, so good.
Man, that was hard.
Oh, man.
It's such a jam. It's such
But he
a
says
jam.
you like every other word, so it's so hard.
I know. How many was that? Like 3?
Yeah, it was 3. But you know what? That's still pretty
Man.
good considering, like, percentage-wise, the amount of them that you did leave out. So, you know what?
It's okay. It's worth it. If it means I get to sing more of the
There
song,
you
it's
go.
worth it.
All right. I think we're going to do one more for you, Jen, and then we're going to do one more for you each, and then that will be the end. So here's your second to last one. Are you ready? It is Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, but without the words guy and type.
Okay.
Starting from the chorus.
Chorus. Wait, the chorus is just music though.
You mean
The so
bridge.
you're a tough.
Okay.
From
Starting
there,
from your-
yeah.
So you're a tough.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're a tough, like you're really rough. Just can't get enough. Just always so puff. I'm the bad, make your mama sad, make your girlfriend mad, tight, makes tattoos your dad. I'm the bad guy. Duh. I'm the bad guy.
Oh no!
I think there was also one
There was
type
one
in
type,
there.
so you got 2 points, but you got most of them out of there, which is very impressive. All right, we have one more of these for each of you. Tony,
Alright,
if you
hold
want
on.
to take it away.
I'll try to figure this one out. Have we talked? Which one have we talked about, and which one haven't we talked about? I guess. I mean, you probably know "Party
This
in
one,
the USA."
yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Jess, this is such an insane requirement.
Oh man,
This
that's
is
not
the
what I like to
linguistics
hear.
major
But
in me being like, what if we?
oh no.
All right. So it's "Party in the USA," right? I'm so sorry. We wrote remove verbs.
Remove verbs.
So like put, playing,
Fly,
fly,
nodding,
nodding,
moving.
Oh
Verb.
You can start
okay,
from the
okay,
chorus.
okay. I gotta refresh the definition of a verb, but you know, we're all right. Okay, so hopped is a verb.
Hopped,
Yes.
Yeah, you can start from the
Okay.
chorus though if you
You
want.
can
That way you
start
don't have to sing
wherever
like the
you-
whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Whatever is.
All right. So I put my.
Oh no!
Oh wait. Shit.
No, body parts
All right,
was
no,
earlier.
it's okay. All right. So my hands up there, my song, the butterflies away, my head like yeah, my hips like yeah. Is that a hands up there, my song, you know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. Yeah, it's a party in the USA.
Woo!
I don't even know if the words I'm singing are
I think
verbs
only
or
like,
not. Like,
I
is
think B is a
verb?
verb, but
B
for
is
the
a
most
verb?
part
I
you
didn't
got
know
him. So you know what? That was pretty good. That was the only one that's like stuck in there. Like it is a party in the USA is technically a verb, but also like
Oh,
who catches
yeah.
its? So I'm not gonna count that.
Oh.
We're not gonna be
so
that
good.
anal over here on Tiger on the Block. This is all in good fun. All right, that brings us to our last single song sung by Miss Jennifer over here. All right, cool. Your last song is going to be Dynamite by BTS, and we are removing the words fire, stars, night, and light.
Am I doing the? Okay.
You can start at the chorus if you want, or the verse. It's up to you.
Okay.
Wherever you want. Wherever you want.
Okay. 'Cause I'm in tonight. So watch me bring instead the shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, likes rock and roll. King Kong, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top, LeBron. Ding dong, call me on my phone, iced tea and a game of ping pong. This is getting heavy, can you hear the bass boom? I'm ready. Like yes, honey, yeah, this beat you chain like money. Disco overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm diamond, you know I glow up. Let's go. 'Cause I'm in. So watch me bring the system. Hey, shining through the city with a little funk and soul. So I'ma it up like dynamite. Whoa.
Woo! Nice. Well, I think that if we're going by golf scores, I believe, Jen, you have won the game.
Yeah!
There you go. You have fewer points. Sorry, Alan. Next time. That brings
But me
us-
and Jess are the real winners because we got to hear your lovely voices.
Exactly. It was so nice. You guys sound amazing. Even with all these words missing, like, we can tell you guys you sound awesome. Which brings us, Tony, to this last little section.
Yeah, so we're kind of getting towards the end of the podcast here on Tiger on the Block. We did go a little bit southern there. Don't question. But yeah, we're heading towards the end of the podcast here. And so this is kind of a space that we give to you guys to go ahead and promote anything that your group is doing, is going to do, has done, and people might want to check out. This is also a place that, hey, if you want to shout out anybody, you can do it. This is your time, your space to do whatever you want to do. Be sure to add in your social media so that people who want to hear and see more of you guys can. But yeah, this is a open space, open invitation. Take it away. Promote yourself.
All right. So I guess, first of all, if you're interested in listening to what we're doing for like the past 7 years and our arrangements and everything, do check out our YouTube channel, NYU Vocollision. I think it has most of our performance videos up, including our ICCA set 2020. And apart from that, do check out our Spotify. We have a few songs that we recorded like recently, and as well as we are putting up a new song next week, I believe, and that is very exciting. And Alan, take it away.
Yeah, so we've been trying to, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, grow our social media platforms. So our first music video, Accidentally in Love, is on our YouTube, NYU Vocollision. We also have posts, just some like advertising posts and some smaller videos from concerts recorded by people in the audience on our Instagram, also NYU Vocollision. And our Facebook group is, I think we have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook page. In terms of recruitment, if anyone listening is a student at NYU and is interested in going through the application process, the process is open right now. We are taking virtual auditions. So if you find the application post on our Instagram or on our Facebook, there will be instructions there telling you how you can upload your information on Google Drive. And we're currently doing rolling listenings and callbacks and everything. So definitely, even though times are kind of weird, we're still going through that process. So yeah, we plan on uploading more music videos, more any concerts we have. So I guess concerts and music videos for the time being will be sort of synonymous. But in the future, we'll be doing hopefully some more music video projects now that we know that we have, this editing infrastructure and regular recordings from our concerts. So yeah, check us out.
And I will link all of that below. Your guys' Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. So feel free, if you're listening and you want to check out more from Vocollision, just click those links.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the podcast. It has been a pleasure to talk to you guys about your very experimental but absolutely just like phenomenal ICCA set, getting to know a little bit about what your group does as an Asian interest group, and getting to share this fun back and forth in this game of Vocollision omission.
That was so fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us here.
First time doing a podcast, so yeah, it was really fun. Thanks for having us, and we had a blast.
Shout out to Gloria Lee for setting
our
yeah,
pleasure.
for setting us all up with each other.
Yes.
For those of you who have no idea who she is, she's awesome. She's my friend from high school who also knows people in Vocollision. So, good
Oh,
times.
yeah. We would also like to thank our for-hire detective, Casey Closed, for sleuthing out who took our cookies from the cookie jar.
Our guy who reminds us about stuff, Poe Stitnote, for always sticking around and making sure we remember all the stuff we have to do.
And of course, our listeners, thank you for tuning in.
Join us again next week when our guest will be another super exciting a cappella group, so stay tuned.
This has been Tiger on the Block. Remember to treat those vocal cords right.
Try out that riff you've always wanted to try.
And chug a ton of honey. And then the podcast is over and we get to stop recording. Hit the button how you feeling right now.